venimos por latinos, ¿cierto? La persona que viene a continuación, ¿quién ya sabe cuál es la persona que viene a continuación? Listo, la persona que viene a continuación, desde la parte profesional, ¿cierto? Desde la parte profesional, yo pensaba que era autor de más de 61 libros, sin embargo actualmente es autor de más de 80 libros
congratulate you for being a part of a great company. Fusion will make a difference in your life, and in turn, you will make a difference in the lives of thousands of people. And truly, your life will have significance and fulfillment as you grow and develop yourself in this company. And I thank the leaders, the diamonds, the people that are the head of Fusion. I thank them very much for allowing me to come and be with you today. I am honored to be here. Thank you. Okay, let's get acquainted. My name is John. My name is John, and I'm your amigo. On the count of 3, I want you to give me your name. 1, 2, 3. Nice to meet you. Now we are all friends. My wife, Margaret, and I have been married for 46 years. We have 2 children and 5 grandchildren. And we are greatly blessed. And I am greatly blessed to be with you. And I have a desire. I have a tremendous desire. I have a desire to help you be successful. I'm 68, and I have taught leadership and success to millions and millions of people around the world. In fact, I will leave here and I'll go to Fiji, then to Australia, then to Singapore, then the Philippines, and back to the States. And what I will do is I'll teach people how to be successful. But what excites me the most is today I'm in Lima, Peru, helping you discover success. So, let me ask you a question. How many of you want to be successful in life? I want you to look at the person beside you, and I want you to say to them, listen to John, and he'll teach you how to be successful. I would like in this session to define what I believe is true success. You see, when I ask people if they want to be successful, they'll raise their hand and say, yes, I want to be. But if I ask them to define success, what is success? I get many different answers. That would be true in this crowd today. So let me give you, after being with successful people, studying the subject, being successful myself, let me share you what I think success really is. Are you ready?
Yes.
I think success, first of all, is knowing my purpose in life. The foundation of success is knowing why I'm here. And I have good news for all of you today. Every one of you were created to do something beautiful with your life. Every one of you were created for a purpose. There are no accidents today. You were created for a reason. There are two great days in a person's life. The day they were born, your birthday, and the day they discovered why they were born. And success is knowing why you were born. And each one of you were born for a reason and for a purpose. So, let me unfold this for you this afternoon. How do I discover my purpose? How do I discover my why I live? I've helped millions of people find their way and find their purpose. And to find your purpose, there are two things that you want to do. The first that I give you will take you 75 to 80% to your purpose. It's not 100% accurate, but it's close. The second thing I share with you is 100% accurate. But let me take you down the first path to discover your purpose. To discover your purpose, you ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What is my passion? What is it that I love to do? What is it that I dream about? If I could do anything I wanted to do, if I could be anything I wanted to be, what would I do? What would I be? What do I love to do? That's your passion. I shared with you that I'm 68. And my passion is adding value to people. That's what I do. That's why I write books. That's why I'm here today. Every day I awaken and I say to myself, how can I add value to people? That's what I love. And that's why at 68, I still travel around the world. That's why I continue to write books. That's why I continue to do teachings and lectures, because I love to add value to people. So, people look at me and say, John, when are you going to retire? And I smile and I say, I'm not going to retire. I don't want to retire. I have no desire to retire. Why should I stop doing what I love? And they look at me and they say, don't you have enough money? Well, sure, I've got all the money I need. I've been writing books. I've sold 25 million books. Do the math. I've got a lot of money. Okay? I'm okay. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it because I love to help people. You see, you will succeed in this business if the main reason you're in this business is you are passionate about helping people. If you want to help people, if you want to add value to people, you'll do really, really well. So people say, John, when are you going to retire? I'm not going to retire. And sometimes they press me and say, well, sometime you have to retire. And so I tell them, okay. When I die, I'll retire. But I'm going to live till I die. You see, passion gives energy. And when you're passionate about something that you do, you have energy to do it. Passion is the great energizer. You show me a person that is passionate in what they do, and I'll show you a person that's full of energy. You show me a person that lacks passion in their life, and I'll show you a person that's low on the energy. So, when people ask me, how do I discover my purpose? I say to them, what are you passionate about? That's not 100% accurate in helping you find your purpose, but it's close. For example, it's possible to be passionate about something that you're not good at. If you're not good at it, don't make it your career, make it a hobby. You should only do something that is within your giftedness and your strength zone. So, for example, in the United States, there's a very popular show called American Idol, okay? Do you know about American Idol here? Okay. Now, my favorite part of American Idol is not the finals to see who's the best singer. My favorite part about American Idol is the tryouts. When they are trying to qualify. Now, some of them get that microphone and they're passionate. They love to sing. And they grab that mic and they just, with enthusiasm and passion and energy, they just belt out the song. The problem is they can't sing. And the judges look at them and they go, and people at home are hitting the mute button on their TV. Now, they're full of passion, but they can't sing. If you are full of passion, but you're not good at what you love, don't make it a career. In fact, when I listen to the tryouts of American Idol and somebody is singing but they're not any good, I always ask myself, where are their friends? Shouldn't somebody come into their life and say, you can't sing? Are they passionate? Yes. Are they good? No. So, to find your purpose in life, you've got to ask more than what am I passionate about. The second thing you need to ask is, what am I gifted in? What is my strength? What do I do well? Because whatever that is, whatever you do well, whatever it is that you have giftedness in, that you have an ability, whatever it is that is your strength, that will take you to your purpose. Because you are gifted and created for a reason. and your gifts and your strengths will take you right to your purpose. So you ask yourself, I ask myself, what is it that I do well? Now, in most cultures, we tell people to work on their weaknesses. And I tell you, that's not a good idea. Don't work on your weaknesses, work on your strengths. So, when we're in school, if I get an A in mathematics and I get a C in language, they say, work on your language. I say, no. Thank God you got a C. You probably deserved a D. Work on your strengths. Because if you work on your strengths, you will excel in your life. Let me explain. You can only grow in the area of giftedness, strengths, and abilities. You can only grow 2 numbers. So, if between a 1 and a 10, let's say I'm below average, I'm weak in an area, I'm not very good, okay? So let's say I'm a 3. Well, if I work hard, I could take that weakness from a 3 to a 4, maybe to a 5. But that just makes me average. Listen to me carefully. People don't pay for average. If you're average, you never set yourself apart. If you're average, you never rise above the crowd. If you're average, you'll never be successful. Average isn't success. But let's say instead of working on your weakness and going from a 3 to a 4 to a 5, let's say you work on one of your strengths. You have something that you do quite well. In fact, you're above average. You're already a 6. Wow. Now, if you start at the 6th level in your strengths and you develop yourself and you grow, you could become a 7. You could become an 8. Now, you are excelling. You are way above average. And that's when you get successful. People don't pay for average. So, if you want to be better than average, you've got to find what you do well, and then you've got to develop that area, and you've got to grow in that area. For example, no one gets excited about going to an average restaurant. Nobody ever gets excited about going to an average concert. You see, average doesn't excite anybody. And if you're going to succeed in this business or any other business, you've got to be above average. So, how do you do that? You find your strength. For example, if I said to you, we've worked hard today, let's restaurant, sit at an average table, have an average waiter, and have an average meal. And then you don't come out of the restaurant and say, yes! Wow! Let's do that again! It's average. It always has been average. And average doesn't set you apart. And average will never let you be successful. So, you look at yourself and you ask, what am I passionate about? That keeps me energetic. And what am I good at? When you can put your passion, what you love, with your giftedness, what you're good at, and put them together, you've discovered your purpose in life. And I would challenge every one of you today, to begin discovering your purpose in life. Because when you find it, the rest of your life, you'll be fulfilled. That's a fact. Now, success is more than just finding my purpose in life. The second part of success is this. It's not only me knowing, discovering my purpose. Number two, it's me growing. It's me growing and developing myself to reach my potential. It's not only about me knowing why I'm here on earth. It's all about me taking my strengths, what I am good at, what I do very well, and determining that I'm going to grow and develop myself in that area. So let me tell you a story. With a man who asked me a question. He said, "John, what is your plan to grow?" I didn't have one. I was young. I didn't know that I needed to have a growth plan. And when he discovered that I had no plan for growth, he said words that day that truly changed my life. He looked at me and said, "John, growth does not automatically happen." Listen to me carefully. You nor I, we do not automatically get better. We don't automatically grow. We don't automatically develop ourselves. And for the first time in my life, I began to understand that if I was going to reach my potential, then I was going to have to make growth a high priority in my life. And that growth, and it would have to be daily, every day. That has changed my life. For over 40 years, I've had a daily personal growth plan. And that personal growth plan that I do daily is the reason that I've been successful. And I'm passionate about what I'm going to teach now. Because what I'm about to teach you truly can change your life. So if it's okay, I'm going to come down here and sit with you for a little bit, okay? Now, but if you apply it to your life, it will beautifully, beautifully change you. Let me give you the secret of success right now. The secret of your success, the secret of my success, the secret of any person's success in this world, listen to me carefully, the secret of that success is determined by what we do daily. What you and I do every day determines either our success or our failure. There's no such thing as a surprise in success. There's no such thing as a quick journey to success. Success is a result of doing the right things every day. And you have come, and many of you are looking at Fusion, and you're asking yourself, is this a good opportunity for me? Is this a place where I could make a difference? And I can congratulate you because I think Fusion is a great company, and I think you've made a great choice. Now listen very carefully. You've made a good decision to become part of the Fusion family. But that will not make you successful. Let me help you. My name's John. I'm your amigo. Let me help you. Decision making is overrated. Hang on. decision managing is underrated. I'm going to explain. We make a decision. Well, I'm going to become part of the Fusion family. Good decision. But that decision isn't going to determine if you're successful in this business. All that does is give you an opportunity to be successful. Your success will not be made by the decision you made. It will be determined by if you manage that decision on a daily basis. Decision management is the key to success. Many people say, well, if I get a dream, I'll get a dream. No. You see, after you have that dream, you've got to manage the things you do daily to make that dream a reality. Let me illustrate. Let's say I say to myself, I'm going to lose weight. Okay, that's a good decision. And in fact, do you in Peru, and I know that you're from other countries too besides Peru, do you make New Year's resolutions? So at the beginning of the new year, you kind of say, this year I'm going to do this. Okay, you do that, right? Okay. How many of you have made a New Year's resolution? Raise your hand if you made it. Oh, okay, good, okay. Now let me ask you another question. How many of you, after you made that New Year's resolution, a few months after the new year, you are not following through on that New Year's resolution? Huh? Now listen. Here's what you have to understand. Making the decision was important, but managing the decision is more important. So, let's say, for example, I say, this coming year, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to get my body in shape. First day of the new year, what do? I get in the car. I drive to the gym. I'm all excited because this is the first day and I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to exercise and I'm already 1 for 1. First day, I'm going to the gym and I'm going to exercise and I start to pull into the parking lot of the gym and there's a policeman there and says, no, you can't come in. The parking lot is full. Go on down, drive on. So I drive a block, I drive 2 blocks, I drive 3 blocks. Finally, I find a parking place and I pull in and I park. I get my gym back. Now I'm disgusted. I have to walk. I have to walk to the gym. So now I'm walking to the gym. And I finally get there and I go inside and the place is packed. Every machine is taken. And I think, the parking lot is full. The place is packed. I go to the manager and I said, I don't want to complain, but I made this New Year's resolution to exercise and lose weight and the parking lot is full and the place is packed. And what am I going to do? He smiles and says, come back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I come back to the gym. When I get to the parking lot, there's no policeman out there saying the parking lot is full. In fact, there are kids out there with balloons, and they've got a membership drive going, and they're trying to get, and I can pull my car right into the parking lot. I can pull my car right up to the front door of the parking lot. In fact, if the door is wide enough, I could pull my car right into the place. Now what happened? What happened? You see, the manager of that gym understands something. The first day of the new year, everybody is there because a lot of people said, I'm going to exercise this year. I'm going to lose weight. In 2 weeks, that manager realizes that 75% of the people who made that decision 2 weeks ago won't follow through and manage that decision today. Success is not in making the decision. Success is in daily managing that decision. And so you're here, and you're very excited, and you're saying, "Oh my, this is fabulous! I love the opportunity of fusion, and I think I'm going to join the team." Listen to me, that's a wonderful, wonderful decision, but it has nothing to do with your success. It's what you do daily after you leave this conference. It's the managing daily of the decisions you make that will determine your success. I know how to help you be successful. And the key to your day of your life. And if you don't manage the decision you make, you will not be successful. But if you manage the decision you make, you will be successful. So, first of all, how are we doing? Are you learning something?
Yes.
Okay, look at your neighbor and say, I'm learning something. Tell them, I'm learning something. Okay. Tell them not enough yet. There's more to learn. There's more to learn. Now, my name's John, and I'm your amigo. So stay right with me, friend, because I'm about to dump gold on you, okay? You see, this 68-year-old body, it's like a dump truck. And in the back of my truck, I have gold for you. You understand that? And I'm driving my truck around, and I'm in Lima, Peru, and I came to a fusion conference, and all of a sudden, I see all of these people with great potential, and I think, I need to take my truck over to them. And so I take my truck full of gold over to you at this conference, and I put it in reverse, and I back up. And I get ready to dump gold on it. Are you ready? From this day forward, if you will grasp it and practice it, you will be successful. So hang with me. Hang with me. I wrote a book 3 years ago called The 15 Laws of Growth. Trust me, my friend, buy this book. Buy this book. Because in this book, I teach you how to grow yourself personally. It immediately became a New York Times bestseller. It's in 30 languages around the world. because it helps people to grow. Now, one of the laws of growth in the 15 laws of growth is the law of consistency. And this law is what I want to teach you now that will help you understand how to become successful. Now, the law of consistency just simply says motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. This is a phenomenal law. It says to you and me that we can be motivated here. We can get excited here. We can get turned on here because fusion rocks, okay? Fusion rocks. The question is not, does fusion rock? The question is, are you going to rock in fusion? That's the question. The law of consistency is an amazing law. The secret of my success has been consistency. People do not understand the value of doing the right thing day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. Most people don't understand the compounding value of consistency. We get excited about being a success quickly or becoming diamond real fast. Listen to me. If you're going to be successful, you've got to appreciate the value of doing the right thing every day. I'm going to illustrate. I have written more leadership material than any other man that's ever lived. I have written the most leadership material of any person that's ever lived. I have written over 82 books. And people ask me, John, how do you write all of these books? How did you do all of these things? And when they ask me how I write the books, I tell them, very simple. One word at a time. And they say, then how did you write so many? Consistency. I'm going to teach you now the rule of 5. And the rule of 5 will change your life. Look at your neighbor, the person you're seated beside, and say, the rule of 5 will change your life. Tell them that. This will change your life. This will change your life. Now, I want every one of you to raise your hand and put out those 5 fingers. Every one of you. What I'm going to teach you now is the power of doing 5 things every day consistently the rest of your life that will make you successful. 5. Just 5. Just 5. Okay. Let me illustrate. If I have a tree in my backyard and I want to cut it down, and if I have an axe, if I go out the first day and pick up the axe, and I go to that tree and I swing that axe 5 times at the tree, I put the axe down. The next day, I go pick up the axe. I come to the same tree, and 5 times I put the axe down. The next day, I go to my backyard, pick up my axe, go to that same tree, put the axe down. The next day, I go to my backyard, pick up that axe, go to that same tree, put the axe down. Next day, pick up the same axe, go to the same tree, and 5 times put the axe down. The next day, I pick up the axe, I go to that same tree, put the axe down. The next day, pick up the axe, go to the same tree, put the axe down. Next day, pick up the axe, go to the same tree. Now, if I do that every day, let me ask you a question. What will eventually happen to that tree? That tree will fall down. Now, hang on. If that tree is a small tree, it may fall down in a month. If that tree is a huge tree, I mean a big tree, it may take 2, 3, 4 years for that tree to fall. But regardless of the size, if every day I pick up the axe and I go to the same tree, and if I swing 5 times, that tree will, it'll fall. That's a fact. That's called the rule of 5. Now, the story is simple. You have to have an axe, and you have to go to the same tree. But if you just swing 5 times, now, not 50, not 500, just 5 times a day, that tree will fall. I'm going to now apply the rule of 5 to what I do. I am an author. I write books. So, how have I accomplished writing this many books in my lifetime? I write now 3 books a year. Now, how do I do that? Rule of 5. My tree, my goal is writing books. So, every day there are 5 things I do to accomplish my dream. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, and every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Now, will you today do those 5 things? Yes. I already have before I came to you. I read, filed, thought, asked questions, right? I write every day. didn't say you do this all day. I said you do it every day. It's better to do a few things every day that are right than to do them just all day long. The value of consistency says if you'll figure out the 5 things that you need to do in your business to be successful, and if you'll do those 5 things every day, there are 5 things that you ought to do every day. Now, you have got to figure out what those 5 things are. It took me 6 years to figure out my rule of 5 for writing. It won't take you this long because I didn't have anybody teaching me like I'm teaching you. I didn't have anybody helping me. So I had to figure it out for myself. But it will take you a few months. But here's what you have to do. You have to ask yourself, what are the everyday essentials to this business? What is it that if I do it every day consistently, I'll be successful? And can I tell you something? At Fusion, you have a rule of 5. I help the largest companies in the world. I have personally mentored the COO of Microsoft for 15 years. I work with Microsoft, I work with Delta, I work with the top 100 companies in the world. Trust me, I tell them all. If you can figure out the 5 things that you should do every day, and then you do those 5 things every day, you will be successful. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Earl Nightingale, when I was 26, I heard him say, if you'll spend 1 hour a day, every day, on one particular subject, in 5 years you'll become an expert on that subject. And I'm in my mid-20s, and I said, I want to be an expert on leadership. And so I set aside 1 hour every day to read about leadership, to talk to leaders, to ask questions, to study the subject of leadership. 1 hour every day. And in 5 years, I was already at the top of the leadership field. And what's beautiful is I still spend 1 hour every day reading about leadership and studying leadership and writing leadership. And I've written 82 books, but I have 13 more books ready to be written. They're just saying, write me, write me, write me, write me, write me, write me. Now, I want you to figure out what your rule of 5 is. What are the 5 things you need to do every day at Fusion to be successful? And when you figure out what those 5 things are, guess what you do? Every day, you do those 5 things. You don't have to do them all day long, but you have to do them every day. And once you start doing that, you will be successful. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for you. And this is possible for you. Listen to me, my friend. It is possible in this business to be very successful. But it's not possible to be successful in this business if you don't do the same right things every day. It's the everyday experience that will make you successful. If you do the right thing every day, 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 someday you can be diamond. But you can't be diamond someday. And I would be asking them, what do you do every day that made you successful? What are those essentials that I need to be doing? I was speaking recently at a conference of about 2,000 people. And those 2,000 people paid $2,000 each to hear me speak for one day, helping them to be successful. And so, in the afternoon, during a break, I was signing books. And a young man came by and he said to me, "This is amazing, what you're teaching and the people, and this is amazing." He said, "I want to do what you do." I said, "Well, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad you want to do what I do." I said, "Let me ask you a question. Would you like to do what I did so you can do what I do? Would you like to do what I did every day, every day, every day, every day, every day in this business?" There's no fast track to the top. There's no easy road to success. There's no such thing as being an overnight millionaire. There's no such thing. If you're going to be successful, you're going to be successful because you are consistent. And you're going to be consistent doing the same thing every day. And if you do the same thing every day, and those 5 most important things, you will find that you will grow and you will develop and you will be highly successful. So, successful people, they discover their purpose in life. They grow and develop in the area of their strengths. And they do one more thing amazingly. Successful people not only discover their purpose and then grow in the area of their strengths, the third thing they do every day is they add value to others. Highly successful people every day help other people be successful. What excites me about Fusion is that your company, that's their passion. I know that. Because this morning I was privileged to speak to your leaders, to your dynamics. And as I spoke to them, Arturo, Roberto, your founder, he came up and he said, "John, Fusion exists so that we can add value to the people and so that we can help them be successful and so that they can be joyful and so that they can have a life that is beautiful." You see, this company was founded for you to be successful. That's why it was founded. Now, in other words, they started this company to add value to you. And for you to build this company, what you want to do is you want to add value to others. In other words, if you're going to be successful, you have to intentionally, on purpose, every day, add value to other people. That's how I've been successful. When I was young in my early 20s, every day I intentionally added value to people around me. Every day I did something for them that helped them. I looked for ways to help people. I created ways to help people. And I didn't get paid for it. I just knew that if I added value to people every day, that at some time in my life, all the things I was doing for others would come back to me. We're to be a river, not a reservoir. We're to take the things we learn and the things that we have experienced, and we're to pass them on to others, and we are to add value to them. I teach that leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. Your ability to influence people will determine the size of your leadership. My influence. And the answer to that is you increase your influence by adding value to people every day. That's how you do it. So, let me sit down here with you. Let me sit down here with you again. By the way, you're beautiful people. I wish you could sit where I am right now and look at you. You look so good. You smile. You're taking notes. You're like a sponge. You're saying, bring it on. Give it to me. Hey, dump that gold on me. Give me some more gold. Give me some more gold. You're hungry. You're learning. You're wanting to be successful. You're wanting to make a difference. You're wanting to make your life count. You're beautiful people. Beautiful people. And guess what? I get the privilege today to teach you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me come. Thank you for letting me share with you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be your friend. My name is Jhon. I add value to people, number one, by valuing people. In other words, the first thing you want to do in this business is value people around you. Look at them as people of worth. Look at them as people of significance. There is something beautiful in a relationship when that person values you. Think about the teachers you loved the most in school. They were the teachers that liked you and valued you. People respond beautifully once they know that you truly value them. And that's key to leadership, and that's key to success. Because if I value you, I will always add value to you. If I don't value you as a person, then I won't add value to you. So step one in adding value to people is just love people. Love the people that you lead. Love the people that you work with. I wish my father could be here today. He's 93. And he still works. And he's amazing. 5 years ago, my mother passed away. And so, my siblings and I talked my dad into moving into a senior citizens care place so that he would be close to medical help if he needed it. And so he's in a villa in an assisted care living place. Okay. They were just building the assisted care living place when my dad said that he would go in it. So, one day, Dad and I were having lunch, and Dad said, "John, they told me that when the facility opens, I can be the first to move in." I said, "That's nice, Dad. Why do you want to be the first to move in?" He said, "Oh, John, you know old people are going to come to this place." And he said, "I want to be the first to move in, so that when the other people come and they're filled with fear and anxiety," and he said, "I want to be at the front door and greet them and say, 'My name is Melvin Maxwell, and I'm your friend, and I'm your neighbor, and it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.'" You see, but before I do that, I want to say this. This coming October, I will have a book that will be released, both in Spanish and in English, called Intentional Living. And the whole book is all about living intentionally to be a person of significance by adding value to others. And I tell you that because of all the books I've read, this book is the most important book. It's life-changing because it will teach you how to every day intentionally add value to others. And because you do it, you will become a person of significance. Okay, so you got that book, Intentional Living. Okay, in October, you buy that book. You understand? You buy that book. Okay. That helps me get on the New York Times bestseller list. Okay. You help. Okay. Now. You add value to people by, number one, valuing people. Number two, you add value to people by knowing and relating to what they value. In other words, to add value to people, you have to know what that other person values. So how do I know what the other person values? Listen carefully. If you want to be successful, you help other people get what they want, and then they'll help you get what you want. And you've got to help them get what they want, but the only way you can know that is by, listening carefully, asking questions. Asking questions is the key to your success. I lecture around the world on the subject, good leaders ask great questions. The best leaders ask questions to discover where their people are so that they can lead them where they need to go. Stay right with me. Stay right with me. The gold truck is moving around again. The gold truck is moving around. On to dump gold. Are there any candidates out here? Here we go. Are you ready? This is so good. Are you ready? Before you lead people, yes, those are my people. Oh, it's lonely at the top. A leader never said that. If you're at the top all alone, no one's following you. You're not a leader. You're not a leader. If you're at the top all alone, you're not a leader. You're a hiker. Yeah. You're hiking. If you're at the top all alone, you're a hiker. What do leaders do? Leaders, if they're at the top, the first thing they do is they get off the top and they go down and they find the people. Yeah, that's what they do. They find the people, and when they find somebody, what's your name? What's your name? Alexander? They take Alexander. When they find him and they say, Alexander, let's go to the top. Hey. And they just ran by yourself. When leaders cross the finish line, they bring people with them. And they don't cross the finish line until people cross the finish line with them. Because they want others to be successful just as they are successful. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, one more thought. And then we'll take a break. And then I'll come back and I'll teach you some more, okay? I'll teach you some more. Okay. Now, if you want to add value to people, you have to value people. Number two, you have to know and relate to what they value, so you've got to find them. You've got to ask questions. You've got to get in their world. You've got to walk slowly through the crowd. But there's one more thought. If you want to add value to people, you have to make yourself more valuable. In other words, if you want your people to get better, you have to get better. If you want your people to grow, you have to grow. If you want your people to learn, you have to learn. You have to do it first. You have to get better so that you can make your people better. Because we teach what we know, but we reproduce who we are. And successful leaders know that. And so they understand that they have to grow. They have to be better. Listen to me. The most important leadership words that you can ever give your people are follow me. Watch me. I'll be the example. I'll show you how to do this. In fact, in the next session, I will come back and I'll talk to you about how you do that, how you develop people, how you grow people, how you build a great team. In fact, let's review what I taught you in this session, then let me tell you what I'm going to teach you in the next session. In this session, we learned that success is three things. Success is when I discover my purpose in life, when I grow in the area of my strengths, and when I daily add value to people. When I'm doing those three things, I am successful. In the next session, I'm going to share with you 4 areas of your life that if you do 4 things really well, 4 things really well, and every one of you here today at this conference can do the 4 things I'm going to teach. If you do 4 things really well, I will guarantee you that you'll be successful. Now, this first session, you've been awesome, and I have one thing left to say before I exit the stage, and I think you're going to take a 20-minute break, and then I'm coming back. And the one thing I want to say to you is very simple. My name's John, and I'm your friend. Thank you very much. In every every area to exceed expectations, to not only do what I'm supposed to do, but do more than I am supposed to do. So let me talk to you about this because this is very essential. Most people don't even meet expectations. About 20% meet expectations, but only about 5% exceed expectations. And if you exceed expectations, you'll be very, very successful. I'm going to illustrate right now exactly what I mean. Because this is important. This is important in relationships. This is important in your business with Fusion. This is very important in everything you do in life, that you exceed expectations. First of all, let me define disappointment to you. Disappointment is the gap between expectation and reality. In other words, when you expect something and receive less, you're disappointed. Just as when you expect something and receive more, you are elated. In relationships and in business, it's essential that you exceed expectations at all times and not live. Don't live off of your reputation. Don't live off of what you have done. You have to constantly put forth that extra effort which will give you a high return in success. So, let me illustrate. I have a nephew named Troy. And when Troy graduated from business college, I asked him to come out and live with Margaret and me and our family for a couple of years. I said, Troy, if you'll just come out and live with me for a couple of years, I'll get you started off in your business so that you can be highly successful. Now, Troy graduated with a finance business degree. So, he moved out to San Diego, where I lived at that time, and I introduced him to owners of companies that I knew, especially finance companies, and he interviewed for a job. And they all liked him because he was a great kid. But he decided to go with one of the companies. So the night before his first day at the job, I sat down with Troy and I said, Troy, I want 15 minutes with you. And in the 15 minutes, I'm going to share with you 3 things. That if you do these 3 things, you will within a year be in the top executives of your company, and you'll be making at least $100,000 a year, I promise. I had his attention. We sat down and I said, Troy, 3 things. If you'll do 3 things, you will be a success in the finance business. So I asked him a question. I said, Troy, what time do you go to work tomorrow? Well, he said 8 o'clock is when they go to work. And I smiled and I said to him, not you. You don't go to work at 8 o'clock. Average people go to work at 8 o'clock. You go to work at 7:30. You go to work early. I said, how long do you get off for lunch? He said, an hour. I smiled and I said, not you. You don't take an hour out for lunch. I mean, the only people that take an hour out for lunch are people that are making their own meal. I mean, hello, you don't need an hour. You take a half hour. In fact, bring your lunch to learn at the same time. So, I said, you go to work 30 minutes before other people go to work. You only take a half hour out for lunch. I said, what time do you finish? What time is quitting time? He said, 5 o'clock. I smiled and said, not you. I said, you work till 5:30. I looked at him and I said, Troy, If you want to distinguish yourself from the rest of the people, you've got to exceed expectations. The expectations, you go to work at 8, you get an hour off for lunch, you quit at 5. You don't want to be average. Average people meet expectations. You want to exceed expectations. If you'll just work a little longer and work a little bit more, you'll set yourself apart from all the other 250 people in the office. He said, okay. I said, number 2, every day do something for somebody in the office that's not your job. Look for ways to help people, but it's not your responsibility. For example, I said, if an assistant, if a secretary is maybe carrying some boxes to the storage room, Troy, jump up, grab the boxes and say, here, let me do that for you, and carry the boxes. And she'll say, oh, no, that's not your job. It's okay. I want to help. I want to add value to you. I said, every day, intentionally, look for ways to help people in the job, in the office, but it's not your job. It's not expected of you. Nobody's thinking you should do it. Remember this, my friend. If you're going to be successful, you've got to exceed expectations. You've got to do more, be better than what people expect out of you. So, I've shared 2 of the 3 things. If you want to be better than average, work longer, hours than anyone else. If you really want to exceed expectations, do things for others that are not your job at all. I said, number 3, make an appointment with the founder, with the owner of the company, and tell him it's a 5-minute appointment. You don't want to take a long time, but you would like to have 5 minutes with him. When he gives you that 5-minute appointment, walk into his office, don't even sit down, and look him in the eye and say this to him: I want to thank you for my job. Because I went to college and for 4 years I worked on my business and finance degree. And while I was in college, I kept asking myself, who will give me a chance in life? Who will help me get started in business? And look him in the eye and say, you're the person that gave me my opportunity. And I'm grateful, and I wanted to personally thank you for my job. And then, Troy, pull your card out, your name card, and write your cell number on it, and hand it to him. And say, sir, if there's anything you need extra around the office to do, just call on me. If you need to move some desks on the weekend, and of course nobody's there, call me on the phone. I'll come over, I'll help you move desks. In other words, I want you to have my cell phone, and here's why. I am so grateful for my job that I want to show gratitude to you by being available to help you or serve you at any time that you require. Shake his hand, thank him one more time for the job, and walk out of the office. I said, Troy, if you'll do those 3 things, if you'll work a little longer than everyone else, if every day you'll do something for somebody that's not your job, and if you'll express gratitude for the person that gave you your job. I said, if you'll do those 3 things, in 12 months, you'll be an executive in this company. I guarantee it. Now, I was wrong on the 12 months. It just took him 6 months to be making $100,000. In 12 months, he was making almost $200,000. Now listen. What I asked him to do was not difficult, impossible. It was possible for him, and it's possible impossible for you. Listen to me carefully. If you're going to be successful, you have to exceed expectations. You've got to do more than people think you are going to do. You've got to share more than people think you're going to share. You've got to care more than people think you're going to care. It's that extra effort that sets you apart from average. And what I've discovered is that what I ask of people to do to be successful is not difficult nor is it hard. It's just taking that extra effort. That's true in your job. That's also true in relationships. My father, that I talked about earlier, during the financial depression in the early parts of the 1900s in America, when America was, millions of people were out of jobs, my father had 2 jobs when everyone else had none. You say, how did he do that job? Very simple. He had no job himself, so he would go to a business and he would say, I don't have a job, so I would like to work free for you today. Won't cost you a penny. Just give me some things you want to have done, and I will work free for you. And he would work all day. At the end of the day, he would shake the owner's hand, say, thank you for letting me work for you today, and then he would say, if at any time you would like to hire somebody that's a hard worker, think of me and what I did for you today. Within 2 months, my father had 2 jobs because he was willing to work free for somebody for a day and do that extra effort to show how good he was. Listen to me, my friends. You are very close to success. You're not a long way from success. You are very, very close to being successful. And if you want to be successful, all you have to do to get out of the pile of mass humanity is exceed expectations and do more than people ever expect you to do. If you're going to be in this business, and if you want to be successful, don't just do the things you're supposed to do. Do more than you're supposed to do. Work harder. Smile longer. Connect further. Do everything you possibly can to develop relationships. Love people. Follow the golden rule. Do the things that will make you pleasing and appealing to other people. And to become successful. And what's beautiful is every one of you can do this. So listen to me carefully. My name's John. And I'm your friend. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. You are close to success. You're not a long way from success. But if you're going to be successful, you have to exceed expectations. I want you to say to yourself right now, not to your neighbor, to yourself. I want you to say to yourself, I don't want to be average. I want to exceed expectations. I want you to say that to yourself.
I don't want to be average.
Yo quiero ser.
Say it again.
Yo no soy un mediocre.
Now say it to your neighbor, the person you're sitting beside. Now, how many of you will raise your hand and say, John, I got it. I'm going to exceed expectations. I'm going to do more than other people think. Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me, okay? Okay. That's good. That's good. I like that. You're doing real good. So you exceed expectations in every area if you want to be successful. You just do more than what is required of you to do.
en todas las áreas cuando uno
The second thing to help you to be highly successful is you need to learn how to equip, train, and develop other people.
necesitan de formar
If you're going to be successful, you have to learn to take what you know and teach others and get them to do what you do.
y enseñar
It's the only way that you can compound your success. It's the only way that you can multiply influence, multiply money, multiply time, multiply energy. Everything multiplies and compounds when you train others and develop others and build teams of people around you. In fact,
cuando uno
if I could walk down to where you are,
tipos de la gente a ver,
and if I could just
si yo
ask, if I could just talk to you for a moment about being successful in this business, I would ask you two questions. And these two questions would help me determine how successful you're going to be working in Fusion. Here are the two questions.
me ayudarán
What are you doing
a determinar
to develop yourself?
qué van a hacer.
What are you doing to grow you?
Están en la
What's your personal growth plan? How are you going to get better tomorrow than you are today? What are you purposely doing today that'll help you be better tomorrow? What is your personal growth
qué hacer hoy,
plan?
qué hacer
That'd be the first question. What are you doing to develop yourself?
mañana. ¿Cuál es el
After we talked about that,
qué están haciendo
I would ask you the second
a sí
question.
mismo?
And the second question I would ask you is this. What are you doing
Preguntaría
to develop others? What are you doing to grow other people? What are you doing to help other people
para
become successful in this business?
qué
Now, it begins with you.
a otro
You have to grow yourself
ahora
first.
empieza con uno
But as you grow yourself, you have to turn around and you have to develop other people. And the only way that you'll ever be successful in this business is by your ability to recruit people to your team
puede tener
and then develop them and help them become successful. Now, what I'm teaching you at this time is something that I'm very passionate about. And the reason is this.
alguien ahora lo estoy enseñando
Early, very early in my career,
mucha pasión
I realized that I had a lot of energy, I had some ability,
en esta
and I realized
muy temprana
that I could be successful.
carrera me di cuenta de que tenía
But after about 5 years of me working hard, I wasn't achieving the level that I wanted to. And I sat down and I asked myself, why?
no estaba logrando
I came to the conclusion
yo quería
that I was working hard on myself and developing me, but I wasn't working and developing others like I should. And so therefore, I made a very important decision. In fact, recently, when I was at Microsoft, I was doing a Q&A with the leaders of that company, and they asked me, John, what's the most important business decision that you ever made?
en my
And I shared this with them. The most important business decision that I ever made
empresa
was to give my time and energy and my best effort
la decisión
into people's lives to develop them and build the team around me. I have done that for many years now.
para ayudar
I have 5 companies. They're all very successful.
convertirán en
I do extremely well in life. But I do well in life because I know how to train, I know how to develop, I know how to equip people and help them be successful.
la vida
In fact, when I leave here, I will fly to Fiji and I will speak next week at a very important conference. Let me explain. 16 years ago, I started an organization called Equip. Equip is a leadership training development company. It trains, develops leaders. I said, I think we could train and develop leaders that you do to teach others. And in your business at Fusion, what I'm going to share with you will work. This will literally help you to develop your team, to recruit people, and to get them to reproduce and multiply. And quickly, you'll begin to rise high in this company. If you do these 5 things, these are the 5 steps to equipping people. 5 things that you do. If I was going to equip you, I would do these 5 things. Are you ready? Tell the person beside you, get ready. Tell them that. Tell them this is going to help them. Tell them it'll help them. Okay. By the way, my name's John, and I'm your friend. And guess what? You gave me your name at the start of our day, and here's what I know: you're my friend too. You're my friend. Now, here we go. 5 steps to equipping people. Step 1, I do it. The first step in equipping people, training people, developing people, the first step is you have to do it yourself. In other words, you can't teach people and reproduce people unless you do it yourself. Before you train someone else, before you equip someone else, you have to do it well yourself. Don't try to train somebody to do something you don't do. Don't try to expect people to do something you don't do. The first step of equipping people is to do it yourself. So when I train you, I know how to do it because I do it and I do it well. Many people, they try to train others, but they haven't done it themselves. Many leaders are like travel agents. You know what a travel agent is, huh? Many leaders are like travel agents. They send people where they've never been themselves. And they're constant. They're buying tickets, they're getting hotels, but they send people where they've never been before. Many leaders try to do that. They try to get other people to do what they don't do. That doesn't work. You have to do it. You don't want to be a travel agent leader, sending people where you've never been. You want to be a tour guide leader. You want to say, come along with me, get on the bus with me. I'm going to take you where I've always lived. This is what I do. This is what I know. Get on the bus with me. So, step number 1, I do it. Step number 2, I do it, and you are with me. Step number 2 is now you're coming alongside of me, and you're watching me do what I'm going to train you to do. It may take a month, it may take several months. But every time I go out and recruit somebody, every time I give the plan, every time I do something in your business that's important, you're with me. You're with me to watch. You ask questions. I teach you out of my behavior, out of my actions. After we're together and I do something, we maybe go out for coffee and we talk about, this is how I did this is why I did this is how this worked. You are with me. That's the second step. You watch me, you learn from me, you observe from me. I'm your example. And I may do this dozens and dozens of times with you. But that's step 2. I do it. You're with me. Now there comes a time after you have watched me do it for a long time. There comes a time we get to step number 3. And step number 3 is you do it and I am with you. Now I've given you the ball. Now you're doing it and I'm watching you. I'm coaching you. I'm tweaking you. I'm observing. I'm watching you, and then I'm saying, if you do it like this, it'll come out a little bit better. And I'm your coach, and I'm helping you to get better. We do that until you really know how to do it well. And I've been with you, you've watched me, I've watched you, and I look at you and I say, you now know how to do this well, which that brings me to step 4. Step 4 is you do it. You don't need me anymore. You've learned it. You're now on your own. I don't have to watch you. I don't have to coach you. You understand the business. Now, that's step. I'm your friend. Most organizations stop at step 4. And they miss the magic. The magic is not in step 4. And yet 95% of all companies and organizations stop at step 4. I do it. You're with me. You do it. I'm with you. You do it. And then they say, I've equipped them. I've taught them how to do it. No. There's another step yet, step 5. And this is where the magic is. Trust me. I've trained 6 million leaders in 196 countries. I understand this game really well. Step number 5 is where the magic is. It's step number 5 where you begin to compound. It's step number 5 where you begin to expand. It's step number 5 that you reproduce yourself on a level that you will not even imagine. So you gotta do step 5. If you don't do step 5, there's no magic. Because all of the magic is in step 5. And when you do step 5, everything compounds. And I'm going to give it to you now. Because I want Fusion to be a great company. You are growing fast and you're doing exceptionally well. But when you understand and practice step 5, oh my goodness. This is so good. I can't believe how good this is. Are you ready? Step 5. Are you really ready?
Yeah!
Huh? Just checking. You don't want to miss this. This is where the magic is. This is the key to compounding success, influence, time, money, energy. Everything happens we go at step 5. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Are you ready? Okay, you're ready, aren't you? You're ready. Step 5. They do it, and someone is with them. They do it, and someone, until they turn around and equip someone else. That's where the multiplication happens. The growth happens when they turn around and they are now equipping someone else. The moment they are equipping and training and developing someone else, that is the moment the magic happens, because now you don't add, you multiply. In fact, you have people that you have equipped that are equipping others, that are equipping others, that are equipping others, and that's how you build this business. That's how you go diamond. That's how you become successful. By making so. When I start training you, I look at you and say, I'm training you so that when I'm done training you, you train someone else. And if you aren't going to train someone else, I'm not going to train you. I only equip you if you will tell me you'll equip somebody else. So that I never have training as an end. It's continue, and it keeps moving, and it keeps multiplying, and it keeps adding. That's how you equip 6 million people in 196 countries in 16 years. You understand that cycle. I do it, you're with me. You do it, I'm with you. You do it, somebody is with you. And you just keep that cycle going, and it never stops. Now, okay. All right. We've learned 2 things so far on success this afternoon. If you want to be successful, you've got to exceed expectations, especially in the area of relationships. And if you want to be successful, number 2, you have to equip and train people. Are you with me? And by the way, you say, John, what would you train people in? The rule of 5. The 5 everyday essentials is what I would train people in every day. I would have them with me, and I would say, these are the 5 things I do every day. Watch me do them. I do this today. I did this yesterday. I'll do it tomorrow. And you just teach those 5 everyday essentials. Now, to be highly successful, number 3, you have to have a positive attitude. You have to have an attitude, an outlook on life and on people that is uplifting, that is positive. You need to have an attitude of abundance. You need to have an attitude that's positive. Now, attitude is the great difference maker. In other words, all things being equal, the person with the best attitude always wins. Everything else being equal. If you are going to hire somebody for a job and they have kind of equal experience and equal success and equal history and equal education and equal everything, the separator, the difference maker is the attitude. And where the attitude really shows up and makes the difference is not during good times, it's during adversity and difficult times. In other words, it's your attitude about problems, about difficulties. It's that attitude that makes the difference in your life. If you have what I call attitude tenacity. Attitude tenacity is that you never quit. You may fall down, but you're never down. In fact, I had a friend said, "John, I'm never down." I said, "What do you mean you're never down?" He said, "I'm either up or getting up." That's attitude tenacity. And here's what's amazing. What's amazing is that your attitude and my attitude is a choice. It's a choice. In other words, the attitude that you have right now is an attitude that you've chosen. The attitude that I have right now is an attitude I've chosen. So if it's positive, if it has a spirit of getting back up, if it handles failure successfully, wow. Your ability to overcome difficulties. Can I tell you something about this business? This business is not all success. You won't do it right every time. In fact, you have to understand that when you start out, many of you are brand new to Fusion, and if you're brand new to Fusion, I just want to say something to you today. When you present the plan for the first time, when you recruit for the first time, when you do the things that build your business for the first time, you're not going to be that good. It's okay. When you started talking, you didn't talk well. You didn't the first time just talk in sentences. You just one day went, wow. Everybody looked at you and said, oh my gosh, I think he said something. Wow. Oh yes, he's talking. Wow. Wow. Only the grandparent can translate. Wow. When you started walking, you didn't get up one day and say, hey, let's walk a mile. No. You took a step and you fell down. You took a seat. When you start something, you're going to fail. You're going to mess up. That's okay. All of my life, I've messed up. All of my life, I've fallen down. That's not the issue. The issue is not, are you going to fail? You're going to fail. We all make mistakes. We all fail. Hello? Are you all right? How many of you have ever made a mistake in your life? Raise your hand. Good, raise. All right. How many of you ever failed in your life? Come on, talk to me. Come on, talk to me. Hey, let me get in here. Here we go. I've messed up. I fail a lot. I do it all the time. It's a spiritual gift with me. Here's the key. It's not that you fail. In this business, it won't always go well. It won't always be wonderful. You're not going to win every time. You're going to have some people you try to recruit and they don't want to join you. You're going to have some people laugh at you. You're going to have some people tell you you're foolish. You're going to have some people tell you you're wrong. You're going to have, listen to me. My name is John. I'm your friend. Listen to me. Average people want to keep you average. Average people don't want you to be successful. Average people reach up and pull you back down. Average people don't want you to be successful. They're like crabs in a basket. I have a friend of mine that goes out and gathers crabs. And he said, John, when you put two crabs in a basket, you don't need a lid. I said, you don't need a lid? He said, no. He said, if one crab starts to crawl up, the other crab will reach down and pull him back down. One crab won't let another crab get out. I thought, I know a lot of people like that. They don't want you to be successful. Listen to me. You're not always going to win. But the only people who lose are people who quit. And the only people who lose are the people who begin to have a negative attitude about failure. Learn from your failures. Failure is your best friend. And you choose your attitude. Two people, same company. One quits, one keeps going. What's the difference? Not the company. Fusion's fusion. The difference is one has a better attitude than the other. Are you going to have an attitude that every time you fail you're going to quit, or are you going to get back up? You see, your attitude is a choice. You get to choose your attitude. If it's a good one, you chose it. If it's a bad one, you chose it. That's why I never feel sorry for people with a bad attitude. Because if they had a bad attitude, I just look at them and I say, "Ooh, that's your problem. You chose it." My wife and I one day were doing a conference, and we were doing Q&A. And a lady raised her hand, and she looked at my wife Margaret, and she asked this question. She asked, "Does John make you happy?" Now, I love that question because I think I'm a wonderful husband. So I thought, oh, how nice. She wants to know if I make Margaret happy. And then Margaret surprised me. She looked right back at the lady and she said immediately, "No, John doesn't make me happy." I said, "Margaret, sweetheart, honey, baby, explain to them what you mean that I don't make you happy." And then she said, "I realized the first 6 months of our marriage, he would never make me happy." So, what are we learning? If you want to be successful, you got to exceed expectations. You've got to equip and train people. You've got to have an attitude that allows you to overcome adversity and failure and difficulties. And there's one more thing I want to give you. Okay? If you want to be highly successful, you need to learn how to lead others well. Because your ability to lead others will determine the size of your influence, and the size of your influence will determine the size of your success. So, I want you to watch. I want you to look up here because I'm going to demonstrate something to you that's very important. Okay? I wrote a book 12 years ago called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Now, that book is the best-selling, most popular leadership book ever written. It has sold millions and millions of copies. And in that book, I give you 21 laws of leadership that determine how well you're going to lead. And I'm going to teach you one right now for about 3 minutes to help you understand why it's important for you to learn to lead. It's called the Law of the Lid, L-I-D. The Law of the Lid says, how well you lead determines how well you succeed. This is an unbelievable, amazing law. In other words, it says that each one of us, you have and I have a lid on our leadership. And whatever that lid is on our leadership, it determines how successful we're going to be in this business or any business in the world. Let me illustrate, okay? Look up at me. This hand right here represents how well I lead people. This is my leadership lid. This is John Maxwell's ability to lead people. That's my leadership lid right there. This hand represents my business. In your case, Fusion. Okay? if this is my leadership lid, let's say from a 1 to a 10, it's a 5. I'm an average leader. I'm a 5 leader. That's my leadership lid. What that means is my business, in this case, Fusion, will always come under my leadership lid, but will never rise higher. Because my ability to lead people determines how big I can build my business. Your business will be built based upon your leadership lid. So if my lid is a 5, my business will be a 4. Let me tell you what it will never be. If your leadership lid is a 5, your business will never be a 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. In the history of mankind, I've spoken at the major universities in the world. In the history of mankind, no company, no person has ever risen above whatever that leadership lid is. That leadership lid determines how high you will go. Now, stay with me. Here's the good news. The good news is you can learn to lead. You can grow that lid. I know that. I've trained millions of leaders. So, let's say my leadership lid is a 5 in Fusion. I'm an average leader. What that means is in this company, my business will be a 4. It won't be a 6, it won't be a 7, it won't be my lid, my leadership lid, will not allow my business to grow beyond that. Now, but here's what's beautiful. I can learn how to lead. I can grow as a leader. What that means is, my leadership lid can raise. I can go from a 5 to a 6, to a 7, to an 8. Now, the moment my leadership lid begins to lift, what happens to my organization and my business? That's right. It can go from a 4 to a 5 to a 6 to a 7. The moment my leadership lid goes up, my business goes up. The only way to build a business is to build better leaders. That's true in government, that's true in education, that's true in business, that's true in religion. It's a fact. I teach it around the world. It is a law. The law of the lid says you can only grow your business to the level of your personal leadership. That's why I train leaders. That's why I have a passion to train leaders. That's why I am the #1 leadership guru in the world and have been for the last 6 years. Because I understand how to take a person's leadership lid and how to raise it. And here's what's wonderful. You can learn to lead. And you can learn to lead better. And you can raise your lid. And wherever you are, you can go to another level. One more thing to say. There's another law in the 21 law. Every one of you in this auditorium, every one of you, have strengths. You've got to take what you have been given and add value to others. And if you will exceed expectations, equip people, have an attitude that will allow you to overcome failure, and you learn to lead and influence people, here's what I know. Every one of you in this building will become successful. And listen to me. Let's be careful. Let's be careful. And I came to Lima, Peru today to be with Fusion and to be with you because I've lived for 68 years and I've seen hundreds of thousands of people listen and apply my principles and read my books and become successful. And I thought, what a wonderful thing for me today to spend a day with you, to love you, to add value to you, to teach you these principles. Because I know some of you will take these principles, you'll take that gold from the truck. You'll take that gold from the truck. And you will truly experience success in your life. And when that happens, just remember this. My name is John. And I'm your friend.
Alvaro, a great hand as he comes to the stage. Come on up and join me. Here he is. Your man. My man.
Está formado, porque son sus libros los que hoy día han hecho grande este movimiento. Estuvimos con Jhon y le hice una propuesta. Una propuesta para usted. Un trabajo de momentos muy intensos, de días enteros, de avances personales, y luego que mes a mes haya seguimiento, medición de avance, coaching, mentoreo, de modo tal que fluya toda la organización. Por eso convoco a 20 personas que estén por lo menos en el top 40. Pero oigan bien, esas 20 personas los va a representar a ustedes y que tomen la decisión de hacerse cargo de subir su nivel de liderazgo. Y si es que toman esa decisión valiente, la empresa les da un bono adicional, independientemente de los puntos, independientemente de cuál es su nivel actual, un bono de $15,000 para que puedan acceder a el proceso que cuesta con Jhon, este proceso personal por todo un año que cuesta $25,000. Es decir, por solo $10,000, aquellos que levanten la mano, que estén dispuestos, porque Jhon lo ha autorizado, que esa información, ese proceso se duplique a toda la organización, a todita. Vamos a poder contar, seguramente que muchos del círculo del presidente vamos a poder contar con este espacio personal y de la mano de Jhon. Porque tenemos 12 meses para el próximo alumbra de Medellín. El reto es seguir transformando América Latina. Espero a los 20 valientes que estén dispuestos a avanzar y a través de ese avance a volver a transformar y dar el siguiente nivel a nuestra organización. Gracias, Fusion.